I've been really juggling the idea of whether I want to show you guys the process in tearing out the summer garden to put in the fall garden, or if I just want to make you wait. But I think I'll give you just a little peek. Y'all, look at the pollinators on these zinnias. This is like the water fountain of the garden office. I actually have some other flowers that I want to plant for fall, but I'm going to deadhead these zinnias and just trim them back and stuff and leave most of the plants. They are cut and come again, so they will keep blooming. The other zinnia patch, I think I'm going to go ahead and just pull out because they've gotten really big and are falling over, and I want to plant some more flowers, but I don't want to take away all of the places that the pollinators love at one time. So a lot of this is staying the same. These pepper plants are still producing quite a lot. Those tomato plants are still really healthy, and I'm leaving the zinnias. The okra is still in full swing, and I've already cleared out a lot of this bed. These beds, just aside from a few peppers and tomatoes that are still healthy, are getting completely cleared. Daniel is on a mission because if y'all remember my spider friend from a few vlogs ago, she's moved over here, and I didn't know there was whip there. That's a very large spider. I don't know how to really give scale to. Daniel loves spiders.
I do not. I love them with the love of the Lord. I care about the spider who will take care of the insects that eat our plants, but I do not want him on my face or on my hands or anywhere else. So I'm going to try to get him in this bucket, and if it gets on me, you're going to hear me scream like a baby girl. Oh, Jesus.
It's moving.
I know.
That's a fast spider, Daniel.
Oh God, if it gets on me, I'm not kidding.
Where are you going to put it?
Not here.
I've never seen you so serious before.
I'm scared to death.
Just put her over there in the woods. Like, there's lots of blackberry bushes and stuff over there. You have leaves all over you. That spider is called an orb weaver, and they're not dangerous, and they're actually beneficial to have around because they eat insects. However, we're taking out all this stuff where her nest was. So we moved her over into the woods. There's a lot of plants out there. She might make her way back into the garden, but we don't want to kill stuff like that. We don't want to kill beneficial insects. Some of these late tomatoes that I planted are really just getting to their peak. They're putting off some good sized fruits. I do need to prune them back some though. I've kind of just neglected them. One of the things with putting in a fall garden is it's not like the spring where you have a blank slate where you just get to plan whatever you want, figure out where it's supposed to be. One of the things we're dealing with right now is that we've got all these tomato plants, and some of them are starting to get fairly sick. At this point, we're just making the decision of like, what is overall going to be the most productive and enjoyable thing for the garden. Like some of these tomato plants, they're sick, but they still have, you know, quite a bit of green fruit on them. We could leave them in for another month or so and let it ride and maybe get a good bit more off of them. However, then they're really going to be getting to the point that they're not producing anymore. But if we pull them out now, we miss out on a little bit of harvest, but the space is open for us to plant stuff for the fall. It's kind of a hard decision. Like it's really hard to pull plants out that are still producing, but this is part of putting in a fall garden. So I'm going over all the plants that we're pulling out, and obviously pulling off the ripe fruit, but also pulling off the unripe fruit. And I'm going to pickle these so that they're not wasted. Throughout the season, during the garden tours, I have showed you guys my tomato experiment where I left a plant completely alone, doing absolutely nothing. No pruning, no staking, just left it alone. And I want to show you what happens when you do that. Now, I have gotten several fruits off this plant that were okay. They're all really small. This is what we just went through and found that was good. Now, if you prune, you can get much larger, healthier fruits. These are all smaller, but this thing, now it's still covered in fruit, but they're all just gross because, you know, essentially it's really hard to keep the bugs off them when the plant is just so massive. Like you can see here, this plant's gotten sick and I'm about to tear it out, but I just wanted to show you guys this first. If you look at the stems, look at all the roots that are coming up. It's massive. Daniel's gonna pull this out and hold it up so I can show you guys.
Here we go.
Look at that. It's crazy. That's one tomato plant left to its own. How much does it weigh?
20 pounds.
Man.
It's pretty heavy.
Now we've got quite a lot of the tomato plants out. They're just starting to get pretty sickly. And some of them are sort of borderline, but they still have a lot of fruit they could ripen. And I'm planning on planting peas and pole beans on these trellises. So I'm not planting the peas for another week and a half or two. So I'm just gonna leave the rest of these for right now because I've already got enough space to plant what needs to be planted immediately. Now we just pulled out a ton of tomato plants, but we had a lot to pull out. So I will still have enough healthy plants for fresh eating over the next couple of months. And I've got like 100 pounds of tomatoes in the freezer that I still have to process. So we're good on tomatoes and I feel okay about tearing out as many as we are because they're sick. So it's time to make room for something else. So I said I wasn't gonna buy any more seeds. Mostly I'm not. Not anymore, other than what I just got. I wanted to get just a couple of things, one of which was my favorite kind of peas are called sugar magnolia tendril peas, and I was out of those, so I ordered some of those. I got a few things on In My Gardener's fall sale because seeds were 70 cents a pack, so I got a few different things that I didn't have already. Oh look, this is the magazine I write for.
Who's in the garden?
Goldie.
The pig?
Yeah, pig.
Journey Pig's in the garden. She's laying down. She's trying to get under the fence.
You want to get a video of it?
Oh, she's in the mud. Oh my gosh. Journey Pig, did you find a mud hole? You goofy animal.
Oh, she must have heard you talking about using her to till up the ground. You're a little early, Journey Pig.
She got out of her pen and has been in the backyard where there's no mud. Look at her. That is
Disgusting. Why did we have her again?
We love her. Here I was worried she was gonna get in here and mess with the fruit. She found her a mud hole. She's following the feed bucket. Well, I think my plan of pinning her up with the electric fence to till the garden's gonna work. Yeah, I think maybe her pin just wasn't latched really well. Journey Pig's being returned to her rightful place now. So I was showing you this before I got distracted by the pig, but I've written for this magazine for 4 years, a little over 4 years, and I write monthly. I will put a link below to this article, but you can go back and search my name and find all the ones that I've written. And this month in Due South, this article is called The Not So Secret Garden, and it talks about me sharing my garden with all of you guys and what a blessing that's been to me.
This is the bean one.
What are those beans? Have you seen those before?
Yes, I want to plant them.
You're gonna plant them?
What are these?
That is lettuce called Merlot lettuce. What?
What are these?
What does that look like to you? You know what that is. What is that?
Basil.
Basil? No, that's kale. We snuck away while KK had the kids for a middle of the day feed store and taco date from the taco truck in Bologna, the closest town to our house.
It's good tacos.
Taco time. We just hit the jackpot. Me and Daniel went over to my neighbor Lisa's house and she let us scoop rabbit poop. I've said this in my videos before, if you're looking for a good amendment for your garden soil, find somebody local that keeps rabbits, and they usually have plenty of poop to give away. It is one of the best things you can put on your garden because you don't have to wait. It doesn't have to be composted. You can put it directly on there and it's a great fertilizer. My cousin Amy loaned me her car. Many of you know we recently had a situation where we currently do not have a drivable vehicle, and I loaded a bunch of poop into my cousin's car. She's a farm girl. It's okay. It's in bags and buckets. I wouldn't just throw it in there. All of this black gold. She actually had more than that, so I'm gonna be putting this over the next day into the garden beds, and possibly we may go back and get more. You game?
I'm game.
What are y'all doing?
We're below your water service.
Bologna water service?
Yeah, they're delivering it by the dump truck now.
Oh, did y'all put the posts in?
Yeah, it's got it concreted in.
Cool, they concreted the kids' play set.
I said, very surprised that Ben's actually been paying attention. He was like, I put the concrete down and he said, oh, we better go get some water. He went and grabbed the hose, turned it on. So then he wet the concrete down. But then it was the next step that I was really surprised that he went and found a stick
I put
to
my
hook the concrete so that way, you know, the water distributes. I never really caught on that, I just kind of did it.
Ben, did you set that concrete for your playground? Yes. I would say today was overall a pretty big success in the garden. We got a lot of stuff torn out. I did have a little bit of an emotional moment letting my spring garden go, but it's okay because I can see what we have coming next. I'm excited. I've got to take the kids to church. We have a full day planned tomorrow. We are actually breaking ground on the chicken coop project as well as the kid garden at the same time. I don't know, Jeremiah said that to me today. We'll see how it goes. And we're bringing over a bunch of stuff tomorrow to finish amending the soil. And we're really getting fall garden reset full swing. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I bless you. Until next time.